Now, I haven't asked you yet about climate. And I mean, obviously, it's not been the single most urgent headline right now, but governments around the world are certainly moving in a much greater degree to make their policies more climate sustainable. How do you convince the poorest countries, the developing countries that also have very carbon intensive energy, that they need to be a part of this given the economic strains that they are under?
What I think we can do as a practical matter is try to help each country meet the goals that they establish for their economy that's better for climate. So one chunk, and I want to mention it, is agro-business. The agriculture sector produces a lot of the greenhouse gas emissions, and that can be improved, I think, substantially around the world. The World Bank is the biggest financier of climate co-benefits and climate investments, and we're expanding that rapidly. So that's something that I think is going to help. The reality, though, is most of the carbon dioxide emissions are coming from advanced economies and China. So as you look at Germany, the UK, the US, Japan, China, and India, the carbon output is still very large. And so the developing countries, the poorer countries, get the brunt of the impact in terms of climate changes, and yet they are not the big producers of the huge amounts.
Before we close, Biden is clearly a very different president than Trump has been. Do you think the United States' role in the World Bank is going to change at all? And if so, how, with the Biden administration as opposed to Trump?
The World Bank works well with both sides of the aisle, and so the U.S. is the biggest shareholder in the World Bank. But the World Bank has, as I mentioned, is already the world's biggest financial source for climate change related investments, and that means that I think the Biden administration will be consistent and supportive of those efforts, and I look forward to working with them on a range of topics. Our focus, the World Bank focus, is good development outcomes for every country, and that means development outcomes that raise the living standards of people, raise the median incomes, are environmentally sensitive, and so all of those goals are consistent with, I think, what the major shareholders want, including the United States.
2021 is a pretty challenging year for all of us. Give us your surprising glimmer of hope for 2021, something people may not be thinking about that you think is going to go better than they expect.
I'm going to fall back, Ian, on the promise of humanity and of technology, people working together with communication where they can share ideas. It allows an incredible advance for living standards. We can wonder if farmers in poor countries know what farmers in more advanced economies are doing, aren't they going to be able to really increase their yields in a way that's environmentally sustainable and provide food around the world? I think it's a problem that can be addressed with knowledge, with cooperation, and with technology, and the world's well situated to do that, to make big advances.